Hello. Yes, it's working. Wonderful. Tomorrow we will do the full magic box meditation. So I really recommend that you come with having practiced the previous anchoring meditation through the heart. I really recommend that you let the link that I've placed in the YouTube below sink into you, that you understand how the little cube comes out and folds over the big cube. And also that you let that just sink into your mind, into your brain, in however that works for you. So come with a pure heart, come ready for the meditation. We'll go straight into it. Make sure you are not part of what's happening in other worlds of anger. Don't buy into any views of right and wrong, or don't buy into any kind of social psychosis that is happening, but be the eye in the storm. There is no need to talk about anything. There's no need to opinionate about anything. We can just realize that we are just a blip in time. So come as pure as you can. We human beings, we think in hours and days and maybe 5 years. Maybe we have a 5-year plan. But really, what is happening now, the change of the eons that's happening now is much, much, much bigger. We have to think in much bigger terms. We have to think in galactic terms. So, yes, imagine the Earth takes 24 hours to rotate around itself. And it's 360 something days around the sun. But for our solar system, including the Earth, to rotate around the galaxy, it takes 230 million years. And so it's very difficult for us sometimes to think in these bigger terms. But at the moment meaning not minute, but a stretch of some years, 20, 50, 100, 200 years, there's this change happening. And so many of the cycles, no matter what system you look at, so many cycles are coming to an end somewhere in this time. Maybe our lifetime, maybe the next generation, we don't know. So just don't buy into the small happening right now, but see the big picture, become that purity. Yes, we also, it's the same with speeds. We think of speeds, the walking speed, or maybe the speed of a car in kilometers per hour or miles per hour, something around 100 maybe or so. But we are actually traveling much faster. Our Earth is rotating around itself at 1,000 miles per hour or 1,700 kilometers per hour. We are traveling at that immense speed just by being on the Earth. And then the Earth rotating around the sun is 67,000 miles per hour or 107,000 kilometers per hour, a speed we can't even conceive of, but we are traveling with the Earth around the sun at that speed. Never mind traveling around the center of the galaxy at 515 miles per hour or 128,000 kilometers per hour. So let's think in bigger terms. Let's see that we are humongous, we are immense, and we can access that. That's what we're doing. That's what we did with the meditation yesterday. So, yes, come practice looking at the Hypercube And remember the string of pearls. Practice that so that we're ready for the meditation tomorrow. Yes, I want to talk about things evolving. There's when we always want to know exactly when something is going to happen, and sometimes we can do that. We know exactly when the solar eclipse happens. We know exactly to almost to the minute when we are born. But there are things that evolve. For example, a flower bud will evolve. It will take time for it to grow and to open up. There's no exact time when it's open. That's it. Same for us human beings. As we grow and mature, it's a gradual thing. It's not that on our birthday there's a huge big shift, just like that. So when we look at when is something going to happen, let's be aware that very often we don't know exactly when something is going to happen. One of the cycles that's coming to an end is a 250-year cycle that started with the Industrial Revolution. It was a very materialistically oriented time, and the astrologers tell us that we are shifting out of that earth time, that materialistic time, into a fabulously free sovereign sign of Aquarius and air, and there will be so much freedom. We're just right now we are being constricted, and out of that will come that sovereignty. There will be a change that we see. It will come probably gradually, where the way we are organized is not top down anymore, not that restriction from the top down telling us what we can do and what we can't do. We won't rely on these of friends, and we will be relying on these groups, these rules, for our freedom, for our knowing what's right and wrong, and our views and how we organize ourselves. So not one leader, but leading together, organizing together. It's not even leading. There's guidance coming from so many different people. I also want to touch upon what the elders have been saying, the Aboriginal elders. The expression is skin on the earth. So that's what they're asking for, that at the very time we will have our skin on the earth. And I'm hoping that it won't be for too long in our part of the world, because it can be cold, but let's work on it being good weather. Let's imagine us being out there and having good weather. They're also saying now, smudging, of course, pure heart, pure thoughts. They're also saying singing to the earth. And we can practice that. Singing, making music, vibrating, sending our love through vibrations to the earth. Yes, so let's have a song ready, all of us, to sing for the world. Yes, so Gebhard is asking, is 2112 the peak of the actual circle? That is what's being said. That's what, from all the information, from what I feel, that's probably it. But again, I can't make predictions, just like no one else can make predictions. And talking about that, let's talk about the pole flip, because people have been asking me. So the pole flip, I've been listening to many different streams of thought. I've been researching it for many years now, looking at what is likely and what's happening and what's shifting. So I've been observing it like a flower opening. I'm just seeing there's movement towards that, but I cannot say when it's going to happen. I just cannot. I would think not this year. maybe next year we have to observe the signs to see when it will happen. We do know that it will happen. Maybe in our lifetime, maybe not. The more important thing is being prepared. And the pole shift, what we know there is girls, is hugely helpful for when a pole shift happens. So when the magnetic poles shift, they may flip like this, or they may just flip like this. What we are noticing right now is that from the dipole, north-south, there seems to be a split happening so that we have two north poles and two south poles, somewhere between Canada and Siberia, flipping back and forth. So now we have a quadrupole instead of a dipole. Who knows what will happen? Maybe that'll split into even more poles. What we do know is that behavior changes and health changes depending on the magnetism of the earth and of ourselves. And that's because our heart is for us a hugely strong, it creates a strong electromagnetic field. And we're dependent on that. So if we're not healthy, even in my own experience, I've been healed through magnets. So sometimes I wear jewelry with magnets inside, and it has cured me of things that I couldn't get rid of for weeks. And I know that's been the case with others, and this has been investigated. And we know that when we move to different magnetic fields, for example, we move closer to the North Pole, we have to adjust our own magnetic field with the field that's up further in the far north. And if we're not adjusted, if we cannot adjust, then what's been found, there's been an experiment that has not been publicized, not even been officially publicized on mice. And one set of mice was kept absolutely normal, same conditions. One set of mice was kept in a zero field, electromagnetic field, and these mice became criminal. And what happens is that I believe it has an effect on our third eye. We do not have an orientation of what's right and wrong. We know the birds orientate themselves in their directions according to the third eye, according to the electromagnetic field. And as far as I see, we lose our balance, we lose our orientation of right and wrong when the electromagnetic field drops. So there are yogic exercises for creating a balanced field. It also starts making sense why what has been passed down through the generations, that it's said, stay in your heart and all will be well. And it's not about being nice to anyone. It's not about being kind to anyone. It's about having our consciousness in our heart, so that when the exterior magnetic field flips, that our own electromagnetic field can adjust to that. So it's a matter of really going inside into ourselves and holding that space. When that happens, will metals in our food and body have effects regarding the magnetic field? I think the most important part will be the consciousness. Where is our consciousness? Where is it in our heart? I think that's the crucial bit. That's the absolute crucial bit. We might feel physically disoriented, unstable. We might see a lot of criminal actions around us happening. The key to survival and staying healthy is always stay in your heart. Yes, so if you've looked at the rotation of the up and over the big cube, and it's like you're as though you were turning a sweater inside out. And that is kind of also what we can see with the flip of the electromagnetic field. Everything is changing. What has been passed down to us is that male and female will change. And so we can imagine the female energy that was more like the inside of the sweater is now turned outside. And what was more the male energy, the outside of the sweater, is turned inside. I'm sensing it, I'm feeling it, I feel it in my bones, I feel it in my consciousness, how this is happening. And it's not good or bad, it's just what is happening. And that too may feel rather unstable for many people. So what does it mean to be a man? What does it mean to be a woman? Well, it does not mean that the men are useless, not at all, because the men will go into that inside within themselves, into that deep soul part. I think that we have not seen that beauty of men because it's been hiding. We just have not seen it. But men are tremendously beautiful, and they will grow into that deep nurturing, kindness, caring part of who they are as men. And for women, it's not about being Jeanne d'Arc or Thatcher or fighting for anything. That's not what it's about, because that's very male. That's not what we need. It's about that sweater that's just turned inside out, and there's a new picture, and it's beautiful, it's shining, and it's like this strength, the guidance that is up to the women to do now is the power of being able to tame a lion. It's the strength to just know and do without even doing anything. We know how to tame a lion. Accessing that part within us, that's what it's about. Yeah, that's all for today. So please, please, please be ready for tomorrow, and we'll do the meditation for 4D. Thank you very much, everyone, for being here and for being with us, doing this together. Bye for now.